Okay, so when I'm away from home and I'm going to tie my horse to the trailer, I don't like to have them tied where they can nibble on the knot and get undone. So I simply just run it through something and then tie it far enough away to where that horse anyway can't untie himself. So anyway, little things you might not think about are pretty simple. So now when it comes to the actual saddling, it's important to me where that horse is standing. If I'm going to saddle him from the left side, and the reason that I saddle from the left side is because it saves me one trip around the horse. I'm going to have to come around here anyway, so I might as well start there, do what I need to do on that side. Now, if that horse was along the wall over here, I'm gonna not walk up in there. I'm not gonna trap myself up against the wall or the trailer and my horse. I don't care how gentle he is. I'm not gonna step into a trap that if he would happen to get tight on that leader rope and start having to, in his mind, save his own life, pulling back, if he, sometimes horses do, then I don't want to be up there in the firing zone. So I'll go ahead and get a saddle. I'm going to just place this pad up there and position it to where it's ready, and then I'll go get the saddle. Ready to me means it's back far enough, and you can saddle from the right side. It might be easier, especially if you're right-handed. But I just sort of tuck my saddle up underneath my arm like I'm carrying books. If you notice that the saddle horn is going out away from me, and I've got it sitting on my hip, and I'll take my right hand and place it here. My left hand is right back underneath the cantle. And then I can walk up beside this horse and let him know I'm here. So I'm not surprising this horse by just tossing the saddle up there. And then I'm going to use centrifugal force and my body position to help me get this saddle up on, so I don't have to muscle it up onto the horse. So the horse knows I'm here. He knows I'm ready. I know where I want to set that saddle, so I'm gonna sort of hunker down and come around like I'm gonna throw a bed sheet over a bed, and this saddle should float up there and just land in place. Should. Okay, so anyway, that's probably the smoothest way of placing these heavy saddles up there that I know of. Once I get it up there, I'm gonna make sure it's in the position I want. This to me is very important. I want to make sure that my pad, my blanket, is pulled up into the gullet of the saddle, and reason being there, if that pad is tight across those withers, it'll cause all sorts of problems. I mean, a horse can, a lot of times will carry their head too high, and they'll start compensating because of that pressure. So if I've got that pad up into the gullet, I've helped it. Now I position my girths up prior to this saddling, and I'm gonna check and make sure that the center D is gonna end up in the center of this horse's stomach. So it was a little bit long there, so I went ahead and shortened it up. This is why I saddle from this side, because each horse is going to be a little different, and I want to be sure that this saddle is going to fit this particular horse. Okay, now come around to this side. This Latigo, when I took it off the last horse, I placed it in a way to where it won't come down when you're transporting the saddle. So I'm going to take that tie loose, and I'll reach for the girth. I think it's important to reach for the girth with your left hand. It probably doesn't matter a whole lot on these broke horses, but if you're reaching under there with your right hand on these colts that aren't ready yet, you're asking for trouble. So, but with my left hand, it's against the horse's arm, and when I get a hold of the cinch and I come back, I just simply replace my arm with the girth. Now this latigo is right here ready, so just pull it down, and I don't have to chase around after the leather. So anyway, I thought you might find that interesting. You'll find that people that have done things for a long time have figured out ways that are simpler and you see something like that and you might think, well, why didn't I think of that myself, you know? But I know for myself, the only way that I have gleaned a lot of these simple techniques is just remember it from some of the old timers I've been around. So now that I am one of the old timers, maybe you can glean some of that from me.